All right. Oof. Monday again. Welcome back to the conversation. Get my coffee popping here. So much to talk about and so little time that's happened over the past week. Hope everyone's doing well. Here we're going to talk about some of the things that have been going on in the social media space, along with talking about some new projects of mine. And I'm doing another design along tonight, or today. The sun's out today. I'll be working on launching my brand, or some drops for this winter, as a coordinated effort to get more of my own merchandise out there, and to basically kick off my brand as a whole, as a a lifestyle brand. So I'll be working some of that stuff while we chat today. I'm going to talk about Mastodon. I'm going to talk about DeviantArt. We're going to talk about Hive. We're going to talk about Twitter. We're going to talk about Discord and where all those things are going, and how about the importance of building your own website and your own email list. So, without further ado, where's my glove at? Let's get cranking. Today, we're working in Adobe Illustrator, which is where I do most of my beginning design work at, especially like a lot of the heavy vector stuff I do. As you can see here, you guys are getting a preview of some of the stuff that'll be dropping on Friday. So, take a little bit of a sneak peek out here and see some of the stuff I got going. I'll be doing a couple Conquer design shirts. This one's, I'm not really sure about this one yet, but I'm gonna let you guys in a little bit of the kind of the back end stuff I'm doing and kind of working out the details moving forward. But if you have not been around the internet at all, I'm not sure you got to this YouTube video, but if you did not know, but Twitter is down to a very handful of employees. Estimates are less than 1,000 employees. There's no communications department. There's no trust and safety team. It is not looking good. And if you're asking me why is Twitter so important, for a lot of creatives out there, Twitter was the way that we contacted artists and content creators, or the way we actually spoke to our audiences. It was a good pipeline to actually, be able to speak with people and to engage with your audience and to talk about what you're doing and where you're going, and about your new merchandise, and about your new projects, your new Kickstarters, you sharing my actual comic every day. It was a great place for that. And now, the way things are going, that place may not be there anymore, which is, quite unfortunate. But as I've talked about before previously, that always comes back to, having a place where no one can take it from you. And that's the form of a website. I have had a website since I started my business in 2017. And it has served me well ever since then. But with all this shakeup and everything that's happening in the world, in the social media world, that pushed me a little bit further and harder to actually get in a little bit deeper with the tools at my disposal when it comes to using my website. And that's in the form of email marketing, which I've never really done before. And I wasn't quite sure how it was going to go. But I know that it would be a good hub to let people know and to keep myself more accountable for the projects I have in the pipeline. Now I'm using Squarespace, and they give you a lot of options, a lot of tools to set up your email campaign and your marketing campaign, which is very nice. It's nice and easy to move into. I'm still working in getting it to feel like a piece of my branding, so I'm still working on that part. But surprisingly, to my great surprise, I asked people to sign up for my mailing list because, with the shakeup happening at Twitter, and my audience being scattered to the four winds, with every social media site under the sun, just everyone's moving in every direction. It was bound to cause a lot of fragmentation within my own audience, which is something that, you know, it's not good for any creator. It's good to speak with people in your audience, you know, on one platform, but it poses a lot of challenges that are super anxiety inducing and can make you feel like you a lot of the time you spent building that audience in that particular place feel like you almost wasted your time. For myself, I've put an uncounted like amount of hours and time into using Twitter and to building a community, and you know, with my daily comics, and I even got a book done through. You know, I made my own book. You know, I got books everywhere. They're all wrapped up right now. Most of the books are out to their, you know, prospective owners on Kickstarter. But I turned my comic strip into a book through Twitter. Like, that was the one place where I got to advertise that and market it to people and have people enjoy those and, you know, spread them around. So the anxiety kind of hit really hard last week because it made everything so uncertain, so unbelievably uncertain, that I decided, like, at that moment I need to start taking a bit more of a gamble on myself. And this is a big gamble with what I do as a creator, and building my brand out, my two brands out, into more options to give the people that are fans of my brand ways to support me in terms of merchandise and also other things. So I have created an email list, and I let people on Twitter know I don't know what's going to happen. I'm in a tight spot. If you want to be kept up to date with what's going on in the world, what's going on with me, what's going on with Con Art and Design Company, Black Friday coming up, the pre-order stuff, the merch drop, you know what? I hope I can get 50 subscribers on this. And within the first hour or two, we are already at 70. I'm like, oh man, 70. Woo. You know, if 10 people from that 70, if 7 people go out and read the email, you know, they buy a sticker or two, they buy like a shirt or something, like, that's fantastic. That'll generate some income for me and the family. By that night, it was already at 90. I'm like, oh man, 90, wow. I'm like, this can we get 100? And that really showed me that the time and effort I put in, being genuine, being a creator on the platform of Twitter, was it not, you know, it wasn't a mistake. It wasn't like time lost. There will be a little bit of diminishing, you know, people will follow you, but they won't interact with anything you do anymore. But that's going to be the same for any platform or anything you do anywhere. So that wasn't a huge deterrent to me thinking about how things are going to go. But, you know, a day later, I was already at like 120 subscribers, email subscribers, and I could feel a little bit of a weight lifted off me. And if I didn't have the infrastructure already in place using the website, using Squarespace, I would have been even more taxed mentally about how things are about to go. So I took that energy that people were putting in and like supporting it and retweeting it and sharing it with their communities, and I immediately got to work on producing the pieces for my collection, my winter collection. And you know what, this is literally the Hail Mary shot for my company. And if, you know, what I want to do as a creator, and, you know, I want to create what's in my head and what's, you know, what I think people would like and what I like. This is the Hail Mary shot. This is going to be how things go with this Black Friday drop are going to dictate my path as a business owner, whether that be me putting more effort into this because people love it and they want to support the brand or the brands, or I'll have to shift or pivot. I'm always pivoting into doing more of the things I've been doing previously, which is more client stuff. I would like to get that 80-20. Right now we're at about 80-20 in the other direction. Maybe 20% is merchandise and 80% is well, let's be kind. It's like 60% client, probably 10% is my merchandise, and then like the other 20% is Twitch and Patreon, which I'm going to be doubling my efforts on Patreon as well, and building out a stronger plan for the end of this year, leading into next year, which means I'll be taking a couple days off here and there to kind of like plot, plan, and scheme. But if you're a creator in the space and you're having anxiety about what's going on, as somebody that's a successful business owner in this space, it's warranted. The anxiety is warranted. And don't feel bad for feeling anxious. It's normal. Uncertainty will do that. Uncertainty will breed a little bit of anxiety. And it's completely fine to feel anxious. Now, what you do with that anxiety, is going to change from person to person. But you need to know that you're not alone as a creator. I'm always available through Discord, whatever social media site you want to reach me at, to contact me. We can talk about what you want to do or need to do. Because this is this is fire sale time for a lot of people. And to have this site go up in smoke over the short amount of time that he who should not be named took over the website, it can seem like it's a no-win situation, and he's setting you up for failure right before the biggest shopping time in the entire year. Which really, when I found out everything was going under and it was feeling kind of weird, and I'm like, I got this. I was gonna drop one hoodie and a patch for Black Friday. When I found out he was, doing whatever with the company, I was like, I need to do more. I need to distance myself a bit more from this platform and to bet on myself. I can't let the whims of a billionaire, dictate my success. That's not healthy. That's not healthy for me. That's not healthy for the people that depend on me. That's not healthy for my community. It's a lot of stress that is unwarranted and unneeded. So I had put a solid plan together. I made a solid decision. The plan is still, the plan is in flux. A solid decision to not let the whims of this person and this company kind of shake me to my core. And the way people showed up for my mailing list, it really gave me a positive feeling like I can do this. This is achievable. I can accomplish this thing. I've come this far. I didn't come this far to fail, and the people around me that are been interacting with me for 5 going on 6 years showed me that. If you're checking out what I'm doing right now, I am making a tribute t-shirt to one of the top MCs who passed away last year. I wanted to have this done by Halloween, when he right around the day announced his death. But this is a tribute to MF Doom. He is one of the biggest influences on villain shit international that I needed to make a tribute to him, and this is gonna be one of the drops for the line. It's gonna be a T-shirt, front and back. Right now, I am just kind of putting this together, trying to like get it in place, and I'm scarring it up a little bit, adding like a little bit of like, you know, some scratches, because, you know, the man behind the mask, and if you've been to my stream, I love MF Doom. I love the vibe he puts off, and this, like, literally this character spawned a lot of the ideas that villain shit sprang up out of. Like, I didn't think people were resonated with it as well as they did, but I think I talked about this a few videos ago, how I came up with the villain shit and plotting, planning, and scheming. Sometimes I talk too fast because I get excited about things I'm talking about. But here we are. I'm making a tribute tee. These will all be for pre-order, so they'll be up for like 7 days to pre-order, and then I'll batch order everything, and they should be here within like 4 or 5 weeks, or 3 or 4 weeks. So these things might not be ready by Christmas, but you'll definitely get them by January. So this is like my last-ditch effort of making drops 4 times a year. This is gonna be the winter drop. Next one will probably be in like February, March, right? No, probably March more likely. And I want to see where this goes. I want to see how far I can take my Conquer line and how far I can take Villain Shit International. And the first drop I did in-house. It went really well. With my current workload and client work, I'll be sending all this out for work. I can't print these right now. I'm only printing like one design in-house, screen printing one design in-house. So I'm gonna keep that design in-house for right now, but I'm gonna be sending all this out as pre-order so I can get it, have it shipped back to me, and have it done well with a sleeve print, a back print, and a front print. But it's been a weird week. It's been a weird few weeks for creators. Like last week we talked about what happened with DeviantArt and how they put their foot in their mouth. They put their foot in one. They put one of their feet in their mouth at one time, and then shot the other foot off at the same time. Looking at Twitter at the same, it was the hugest bumbling I've ever seen, and the rollout was so tone deaf that it was baffling to watch. So if anybody was around for that, you saw it was the most ratio tweet. I'm not sure how long we'd be saying that. The most ratio tweet I had seen in quite some time when it comes to a public facing company. But it happened. It happened. Right now, the big thing I was talking about last week was Mastodon. I'm on Mastodon, and it's okay, but it's kind of federated. It's kind of separated. It's like Discord and Twitter, and it's a little bit confusing for the average user, which I understood, but I couldn't quite find an analog to Twitter, especially for the things I do as a content creator, working with other content creators, other streamers, you know, brands like that. So, you know, I went to Mastodon, and, you know, I made a profile, but then last night, like fortuitously, somebody said, "Oh yeah, I'm on Hive." All right, what's Hive? What's Hive? What are we doing now? What is Hive? What is Hive? Oh yeah, it's a new social media site. It's kind of like Twitter. It's an analog to Twitter. And like, oh yeah, really? And I'm gonna go check it out. I've been on there. I got on last night. I was on there for 3 hours. No, I wasn't like scrolling 3 hours, but I was on the website, signed up for 3 hours, and by the end of the 3 hours, I had 100 follows. I was like, I think this might be a good analog because it's easier to use and easier to navigate for the quote-unquote normies. Shout out to my normies out there. So that was one huge like indicator to let me know this might be a viable alternative to if Twitter eventually, or kind of peters all the way out. So I'm young con on, you know, I couldn't pass up the chance to not be young con on the platform. So I signed up last night, and I think I'm like teetering on about 500 follows, you know, which is the quickest growth I've had on any social media platform. So that was nice. Felt very reassuring. That might be the new play, the new social media meta. That's, you know, kind of similar to the way Twitter's built, because, you know, people say Twitter's a terrible site, and it is for the people that, you know, are on it. They can be, it's set up to trigger you. The algorithm is very not nice to you when it comes to what it wants to show you. It shows you things it wants you to engage with, like most social media sites, like Facebook does. It's just being a, you know, a level-headed adult when it comes to that stuff, to know when you're being baited into a fight or some kind of altercation you don't need to be in, or having an argument that's going to suck up half your day you don't need to be in. But other than that, it was a great place to, like, you know, drop my memes, drop my comic. And Hive right now is the closest thing we have to that, in my personal opinion. Right now it's being ran by 2 people, and there's very little ads. So if you do sign up now to get your handle. But if you do sign up and things get slow, you know why? Because right now we gauge things by trending tabs on the actual website, on Twitter's website, and right now it is 110,000 like tweets. This social media like stuff is crazy, which is why I reverted back to getting on my mailing list and get everybody signed up there. Also, if you're watching this video, sign up on my mailing list. Go to conartist.org, sign up. There'll be some free brushes in it, some Illustrator brushes, some custom light brushes, some pattern brushes. I might be throwing some fonts out there. Some free stuff. I'm just, hey, it's free. But you also get a discount code for the new drop coming up on Friday. I'm trying to figure out how to apply the codes, but you want to get in on this merch while it's you can guarantee you'll get it. It'll be the time real soon. Once the order's in, though, I'll be ordering like probably like whatever is ordered. I'll probably order another 50% as backup stock. Now, that'll be my gauge, I believe. But if you're not on there, you know, and you want this stuff, now's the time to sign up, because it'll be available, but it'll be for a much higher price, and you won't get the goodies that come with everything else. I'll be making goodies. This is a little trick I learned from watching Hydro 7.4 kind of render in the speed paints, adding texture, or kind of like, you know, not texture, but adding like scrapes and scratches into things with just 2 colors in your actual palette. Like, you just pick a color and pick an outline with a similar color. That's just going to be your actual line art. And just kind of like using the width tool on that line to make it thicker and thinner, to show that it's depth and light hitting. You kind of get effects like that. Yeah, I'm liking the way that's feeling so far. It's feeling pretty good. But if you're out there on social media, where are you? What do you think is going to be the next place to go? Right now, a lot of people are moving to ArtStation and Behance and stuff like that, and LinkedIn. And I don't see there's anything wrong with any of those websites. Personally, if you're going to meet other industry professionals, what I was looking for most when it came to social media was finding a place to meet people. Meet an audience, like meeting an audience and your audience simultaneously. When it comes to working on sites that are like completely like artist driven, artist focused, I understand the appeal of talking to other artists. I love talking to other artists, but you need to have somebody who can actually sell your stuff to, or sell your services to. And that's going to be a little bit harder to do if you're talking to somebody just like you. You can't go to a market just full of market people. That's going to be that was the kind of like the turning point of what I was going to try to figure out how to put my energy, what I'm going to put my energy into. And because Twitter was perfect for that. You know, I met people, new people, people would see my stuff like, this is pretty dope, and they're retweeting, like, this is kind of funny. They retweeted, and those became my new fans. Like right now, I'm hovering around 23,000 followers on Twitter. I don't know how many bots there are, but you know, whatever. And out of those 23,000 people, 100 plus people have signed up to be notified by me personally about things that are going to be happening with my business and what's going to be happening with my comic and, you know, my courses and stuff like that. And if you don't have a website and you're a creator, stop beating around the bush. Just go ahead and make the website. I can't recommend it enough. I cannot recommend it enough. The amount of just teeth gnashing anxiety I have been going through because of, you know, the child emperor, he who should not be named, just kind of like destroying in real time what I've put my effort into, is sobering. It's a very sobering time, but it's also a time where I get hyper focused on where do I go from here, because I know if I just sit here and do nothing and worry, you know, that could be the eventual, you know, collapse of my business, and, you know, how I feed my family and myself, how I keep the lights on, how I pay the mortgage. That is not an option. So build that website, put the pieces in play, and don't worry about building it well. Secure the domain. You know, if you got a subscription service, cancel the subscription service and get your website. Get your website. If you're a creative in the space, or creative in any space, it's going to be tantamount to between, like, you know, surviving and not surviving at this point. And this is from somebody that's, you know, I have a pretty healthy community on Twitch. You know, we have about 60 to 80 people on the average daily who get to sit in and, you know, watch what's going on. You know, new people kind of roll in. It's healthy, but it's not social media. You know, it's not going to be like, you know, if somebody stops watching you that day, it's not a chance they might come back. But, you know, when they're following you, there are 100 options. You can't really watch everybody at the same time. That's the one drawback of live streaming. Is, yes, it's really good for, you know, creators, but it is not a live beacon like, for example, YouTube is. Like, you make a video on something, it's there. You don't have to show up for that anymore. You've already made that content. It's already made. As opposed to, you know, being on Twitch. Once you're offline, you're basically done. People can watch clips and VODs, but that live interaction, which makes, you know, that live interaction service what it is gone effectively until you're live again. I'm deciding how much I want to actually put into the actual, like, frame of this. I kind of like it where it's at. I don't want to put too much more into it, but I might want to add just one big scar on this side. I don't know. We'll see. Let's do it on this side, actually. This is a little bit of my process here. How I kind of work through my ideas and how I think. So what he did was basically light a giant fire under my ass to get a lot of things done I wanted to get done earlier, and a lot of things I said I wanted to do get done earlier, because I already do a lot. But this was the, this was the fire that I needed to have like lit under me to kind of go forward with my plans as a creator, as a designer. Yeah, that feels good. And today is Monday. Well, the next week is going to be still November, right? Thursday is Thanksgiving. Okay, we got one more Monday. So one more YouTube video in this month. But starting next month, on that following Tuesday and Thursday, I will be launching design streams for a couple hours between noon and 2 o'clock. So from noon to 2 Eastern time, I'll be on stream just designing in Illustrator, doing poster designs, making stuff for my business, chatting. So I'll be here live for a couple hours. Show up if you want to and ask questions. And I'll probably be answer a few questions, actually, if you're part of my YouTube audience, but not part of my Twitch audience. Also, I'll be trying to get more of my links into my descriptions of my YouTube videos. I'm not very good at that. To make it a little bit more easy to edit. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Oh God, I'm really digging this. I kind of want to just move this over just a little bit, and I kind of want to mirror this over there. I like the way that feels. If I can just, yeah, do something like that. But yeah, if you may have any questions about like what to do with their website or what to do as creative, I'm more than happy to share my opinion. Because, man, if this hasn't taught me anything else besides that, it's just how fragile things can be, especially when it comes to, the raving mind of a egomaniac that really like puts things in perspective, and not having that dictated by that, like those kind of people. That's not something. I don't recommend it. It's a bad idea. You're going to have a bad time. You're going to have a bad time. Let me make that a little bit smaller. Maybe bring this to the forefront. And maybe buff this out a little bit. As much as I like the way Mastodon is set up, I don't think I'm going to leave that site because of the game dev community. They run pretty deep over there, and I kind of enjoy the interactions. So that might be my new place where I talk about my game dev. And Hive might be my Twitter replacement for right now. And in case Elon ends up selling Twitter to Microsoft, and then they try to turn into like Google Plus or something. They turn into like whatever analog they had for a hot minute. We'll see. The future is uncertain. The future is uncertain, and all we can do is navigate to the best of our ability. That is all we can do. That's all I can do. I think I'm doing not a bad job. It could be worse. If you enjoy talks like this, you enjoy like the design along kind of feel, let me know in the comments, because I don't know what people like until people tell me. If you enjoy me kind of working on designs like this, we can definitely do. I've got a lot of designs to make. That is for sure. That is definitely for sure. Yeah, look, that feels good. That feels good. Feel like a fitting tribute to my man Dumoulin. Let me just have that side more scratched up on this side. Oh, maybe not. Maybe just drop that one out. Maybe add a scar to this side. You know what? That would go good on the other side, actually. But yeah, follow me on Hive. It's Young Khan on Hive. It's Young Khan on Twitter. It's Young Khan on Instagram. It's Young Khan Art on TikTok, because I guess somebody had Young Khan already. YUNGKHAN. And my handle on YouTube is Khan Art. I didn't know I could secure that one, but I guess I did. This is kind of like more of my business front and my teaching front for Khan Art and Design. Not more or less a personal channel, but I do have some personal projects I would like to do on YouTube. We'll see how those go. With some friends, possibly. You know who you guys are. If you watch my YouTube content or been in my Twitch channel, you guys have seen me muse about some side projects that are YouTube related. I think a little bit of scarring on the top, maybe, and I think this will be in a pretty good place. And some scarring right here. This is feeling pretty good. But I think this is in a pretty good place. Hope you guys enjoyed the little design along here. I had fun last week doing it for sure. And kind of talking about what's been going on in the world. You get to see a little bit of my design process as I kind of work, you know, on my merchandise. If you'd like to see some more of this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hopefully I won't have any like weird sound things happen this week. I'm going to leave it here. I don't leave the video going for too long. But if you're feeling anxious, don't worry. It's normal. Take a breath. Take a deep breath. Build the website. Build the thing you always wanted to build. Never take the time you have for granted. And sometimes things don't work out, and you have to realize that's okay. It's all part of the process. You didn't come this far to fail, and neither did I. Yeah. With that, you can check out Conquer Roast over on, I'm not sure how the camera's going to be placed right now, over on kingscoastcoffee.com. Use code Conquer at checkout. I have my own blend of coffee. If you know, if I'm drinking it, you know it's good. Maybe you don't know that, but you should trust me because the coffee is really good. It's a dark roast. You like dark roast. Use code Conquer. You know, by all means, jump on my mailing list on my website, conorders.org. Big merch drop happening on Black Friday, which is in a few days. I'll be dropping like an email with a discount code Thursday night around midnight. So you guys keep, you guys keep this dream alive. So till then, keep fighting a good fight.